All right. All right. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead.
So, I have a question on second Ezra chapter 6, verse 49 and 51. I was reading it, and I know this is Ezra pretty much breaking down creation. I want to know who was Enoch and the Bible that he was mentioned.
Who was Enoch?
God, he mentioned Enoch before Adam. There's an Enoch before Adam on the 6th day in the Bible.
Yeah, I gotta read that. When you said who was Enoch originally, I thought it was just like he referred to the Enoch that was actually in the Old Testament. Let's go to it and see. Hold on one second. Let me get my apocrypha together. I always want to have your books and everything sitting in front of you. Now, did you look it up in the, before I even, answer this question, did you look it up in the Bible dictionary?
I like a fight for Enoch the Bible dictionary was the eldest son of Cain, and the other Enoch that was son of Adam that walked with God.
Okay, where did you say? Wait, what scripture you said it was? Second Esdras what?
Chapter 6, 49 to 51.
One second, let me get there. Second Esdras 6, 59 or 41.
49 through 51.
49 through 51.
Oh, God.
And your question was, who was Enoch? All right, let's go ahead and read it first. Let me see if I can get you the answer.
Oh, God. You want me to read it today?
Of course.
I'm going to start at verse 47. Second book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 47. Upon the 5th day, thou sayest unto the 7th part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls and fishes. And so it came to pass, for the dumb water and without life brought forth living things at the commandment of the power, that all people might praise thy wondrous works. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan, and didst separate the one from the other. For the 7th part, namely, where the waters were gathered together, where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. Unto Enoch thou gavest 1 part, which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt.
All right. Stop right there. All right. So just going into the story or whatever, upon the 5th day, thou set up unto the 7th part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures. If you go back to the creation story, that's where it was talking about the Lord creating cattle of its kind and fish of their kind and all of these different things. This was all before Adam. We always bring out, when the Most High created men and women respectively and said, let them be fruitful and multiply. And this was before Adam as well. But Enoch and Leviathan, the only reason why I'm even saying something is because I know who Leviathan is. And this is we would call it a demon. You can call it an angel. They both the same thing. It just depends on what side they working on. You know what I'm saying? So Leviathan would be as we would a demon. So I would automatically just say that Enoch would be an angel as well. The thing is, I would want to look this up, though. That's why I asked, did you look in your Bible dictionary? Did it say anything about an angel named Enoch when you look it up?
I feel like to recall. I'll look it up again. Sure that
You look it up where?
not that I can recall. I looked it up on Bible dictionary, but I didn't see information.
All right, because, you know, it's a famous Enoch that walked with God that, you know, everybody knows about. But this particular one here, I'm not familiar with. All right. It says Cain, eldest son, for whom the first city was named. And that's Genesis 4:7-8. But this ain't talking about that. This talking about Genesis 1. You know what I'm saying? So I would assume it's an angel. I don't know the answer to this question. This would be a great question to ask in Thursday night's class. So what I'll do is I'll reach out to Officer Shawar Yala, see if he can give me the answer. If not, we'll ask it in the Thursday night class with General Muhammad. But I know who Leviathan is, and if it puts them in the same boat, then I would just say that it's more than likely an angel. But I can't teach that because I gotta get a proper breakdown. All right. All right, no sweat. Any other questions? No other question. All right. Let me get Isaiah. All right, let me get 1 Corinthians 3:2. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. Now under commanding General Yohana. This is ISUPK Florida. Truth 101 every Monday night. For the most part, it'll be at 7 o'clock. I am Priest and Officer Kazak Damar, ISUPK Jacksonville. For everybody that's on the YouTube, everybody that's on the line, and we break down the basics of what we teach here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. If you're on the YouTube, you have a question, the number is 305-985-5453, 305-985-5453. You can call in and ask any question you ever had about the Bible, and we'll see if we can get the answer for you. All right. Somebody got that script for me? All right, whoever got it, go ahead and read it.
So, 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 2. I have fed you with milk and not with meat.
This is Paul talking to the Israelites in Corinth who are living like Corinthians, trying to bring them back upon the Christ into the banner as the Lord's chosen people, trying to bring them back as sons of God. And he's telling them, I have fed you with milk and not with meat. Now, for somebody who carnal, they'll think Paul talking about, you know, taking them out for a burger or going to the ice cream shop or whatever the case may be. But this is not what he's talking about. Paul is talking about spiritual food. Christ said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. So this is what he's talking about. And there are different levels to it. You have your scholars who know how all the deep and intricate parts of how the Most High work and all of that. You have some people who like, I just want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. I just want to do what the Lord said to do. If you can get that simple part, I just want to please the Lord and do what he said to do. All that deep stuff that everybody try to bring and put on you becomes like very small and minuscule in the grand scheme of things. So what we do is break down the milk here on this class and not the meat. So when a brother asks a question about who is this and who is that or whatever the case may be, if I know it, I'll give you the answer. If not, there's brothers that teach the meat. They go and dig in these scriptures and go deep, and they'll give you the history and all of that, which I can do sometimes, but for the most part, while we here, is to make sure you understand the basics about the Bible. The law is not done away with. God chose a certain nation of people. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the real Jews. The white man is the devil, things of that nature. So, all right. Paul is doing the same thing in Korean. He said, I fed you with milk and not meat. Keep going.
For hitherto, you were not able to bear it.
For up until this time, you couldn't bear the meat. It's like a baby who comes out. You might want, you know what I'm saying, as a grown man or a grown woman, you might want like steak or oxtails or what we had, jerk chicken, venison yesterday, whatever the case may be. Well, the baby can't do nothing with that. First of all, he ain't got no teeth. He got teeth. His stomach might not be able to digest it. But that's the thing. In order for you to properly get this, you got to take it in as milk. Because up until now, you wasn't able to chew up that steak. It's tough. You wasn't able to chew up, you know what I'm saying? That it's tough. So we got to give you something. You got to break it down. I don't know if you ever seen like when a parent take like a piece of meat or something and they cut off little pieces so that the baby is able to chew it. That's the next step after the milk. But first, you starting out with some liquid, something that you don't even got to chew it up. You just swallow it. You take it for what it is. And that's what he's saying. You was not able to bear the meat up until this time. And that's why I gave you milk. Keep going.
Neither yet now are ye able.
You still ain't able to. So just go ahead and take this milk in. Make sure you understand the basics of this truth. Make sure you stick your feet down in that mud, get grounded in this milk and this truth, and learn this thing from the beginning, how it goes. Don't try to do too much. Just try to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. Ask every question you have, and we'll find the answer for you. All right. This is the home of the truth. Anybody got any questions before we go into the topic? Y'all all right, man? Y'all still tired from yesterday from the feast? Anybody in the class?
Wow. I probably got home a little bit before you did, sir.
Who was that? Who said that?
I was in the shop.
Oh, all right. I got home like 6 o'clock this morning. I don't know. Maybe you did.
Yeah, we hung out for a while after you left, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. Somebody else said Salaki? Yeah, she couldn't wait to say that. Nah, what's going on, sis?
It's the white man, the devil.
You better believe it. What you want, the scriptures on it?
I didn't even believe to say my name. I want to piggyback on what you guys just said. I just found out from the school because I got home by, oh my gosh, the I-95 southbound was closed. The whole southbound was closed till 5 a.m. So I had to take a local route. And I got home much later. I got home by 1 o'clock. So the kids were like, Mommy, we might as well just go to sleep. We might as well not go to class. And now y'all going to school. I come pick them up because I fell asleep. I ended up waking up late to pick them up. I found out my middle daughter, my third daughter, they said she fell asleep and she slept all day. So the teacher told her to go wash her face. When she didn't come back, he found her sleeping on the floor of the bathroom.
Oh man, she had a good time.
Yeah, and then they were saying, Daniel throwing my business. Oh, we got home at 1:45 a.m. Then the teacher was like, oh, if there's something about officer, like it sounded like, I was doing something shady, and I like, I told them we was at a high holy service, and because one of them said we were at a party, and I said, no, we just had food and drinks, everything was righteous.
Yo, there ain't nothing you can do to try to explain to somebody who's not in the truth what a high holy day is. You know what I'm saying? The only best way you can tell them so that they understand is, like if you say like a church function or a birthday party or something crazy, they understand that lingo. But high holy day, they really thought you was doing something crazy. Now, before you know it, they're gonna be saying you in a cult just like everybody else. So, but Most High in Christ says congratulations on your name. And the that's this part of it, man. We get together, we get to have a good time, man. Yeah, you have to get back and go back to slavery and school and all of that stuff Esau got lined up for you the next day. It ain't always easy. So ain't enough hours in the day, but I wouldn't trade nothing for the opportunity to spend time with y'all brothers and sisters in this truth that feel the way I do about these scriptures and following and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. So big up to y'all. Once again, do anybody got any questions? All right. Speak now. Nah. All right, give me 1 Corinthians chapter 11. We're gonna go into real quick today is basically having some type of structure in your life. And especially for brothers and sisters who just got their Hebrew names, even those that been had it, what happens is when you become a whole different person, a lot of times they ain't giving you no roadmap on what you need to do. In other words, like for instance, like I don't know, like if you're in the church or whatever, you say, well, I want to serve God, and you go to the altar, you get saved, and then it's this, that, or the other. Without a structure, a guide on what's right and wrong, then you guessing all the time. Without somebody to tell you what to do, then you know what I'm saying? You kind of got to put it in your own hands, and then you like, well, I feel like this is right, so I should be able to do it. And what that is that's something that can destroy you in the long run. So this is why, one second. This is why the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments that were clear cut. You can do this. You can't do that. You can do this. You cannot do that. You must do this. You must not do that. So that we ain't guessing all the time about what's right and what's wrong and how we should feel about it. It don't matter about your feelings. You have to take your feelings completely out about it. If we was going by my feelings, you know what I'm saying, then we would have had us a nice honey baked ham on Easter, just like everybody else, because it's delicious. But if the Lord, in here, we go by the law, statutes, and commandments, the Lord said no. So whether I like to do it or not, I'm not doing it. All right. So this is the kind of structure that you get by being in the truth that you get nowhere else on the planet, because nobody else cares about doing what the Lord say. Everybody else on the planet wants to do what they think is right. When the Lord already gave you that structure, this is why we say things to the sisters like, you got to follow your head. This is why we say things like to the brothers, you got to follow the men above you. The men above you, all the way back to Christ, all the way back to the Most High. It's been like that. It's always going to be like that. And the structure helps us to preserve and to rebuild this nation the way the Lord intended for it to be from the jump. Everybody understand that, right? All right, Shakar, go ahead.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 1.
Oh, okay. Hold that for a second. I thought you had a Slakia. I thought you had a question. All right, so you're going into the scripture. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Make sure I got that preface right. Let me get there with you. All right. Let's go.
First book of Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you.
All right, stop right there. Paul is talking to the Israelites at Corinth and saying, be followers of me as I am of Christ. What you want to do, and I heard Captain Zariak say this, and the brother had called in. He's saying, well, I want to get in the truth. I'm doing some studying or whatever. He said the thing is to find a man of the Lord. Oh, no, that was Captain Mashak. He said, find a man of the Lord and follow the back of his head. Where he go, you go. What he does, you do. The things that I say is the same thing that Officer Shawar Yala said to me when I was coming into the truth. Same thing that Captain Cesaria or General Hazayan or whoever taught him as they was coming to. The same thing General Yohana taught him, the same thing that the seven heads taught them, the same thing that was revealed, same thing that Paul taught, same thing that Christ taught, same thing that Elijah, Ezekiel, Moses, Adam, all of these people were taught the same thing. We don't have to invent no new truth. You don't have to come up with no new laws, statutes, and it's already structured. But all you got to do is what they call plug and play. You plug in and you play. You do what you need to do. You come in, you put on the all black, just like I did, just like Officer Shawar did, just like Captain Rataziah did, just like General whoever did, General Q did, just like General Yohana did. You can come in here and you do that. If you're a sister, you're doing exactly what all the sisters that came before you did and learning from their mistakes along the way. The brothers that fell out of the truth and started telling people, well, I'm King David and I'm Paul reincarnated and all of this other stuff. We understand that they allowed a spirit to come on them that was not the spirit of Christ, was not the spirit of the Lord, and it was a different spirit. They wasn't doing what Paul was doing. Paul said, be ye followers of me as I follow Christ. Everybody has an example they can go by. Just pick one. Pick one. They all here in the scriptures. Our forefathers, King David. You want to be like Solomon? All right, you know what Solomon did and you know what happened to him. You want to be like Moses? All right, you know what Moses had to do and you know what happened to him. Want to be like Adam? Okay, you know what he did. What you eventually have to do is decide to find one of these men of the Lord and to train yourself to operate in the same spirit they operated in. And this is what Paul is telling the brothers in Corinth. Be ye followers of me as I am followers of Christ. Now, if you don't see me following Christ, it's going to make you hard to follow me unless you don't want to follow Christ. But if you see me doing what Christ said and then you don't want to follow me, it's because you hate Christ. That's just how it works. You want to do your own thing. And that's a life that's without structure. That's a life with that the people in the world live that life all the time, and it leads to destruction. Straight is the gate. One of y'all priests, give me straight in the gate. Narrow is the way. Give me that one. Keep reading now.
Oh God, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is the power.
So who is Christ following according to this scripture? Go ahead. He's following God. He's following the Most High. Who is the man supposed to follow? Somebody else. Go ahead.
Christ.
Yahushua. Who is the woman supposed to follow? Go ahead.
The man.
Okay. All of that being said, everybody on this everybody on this line or everybody that's watching this class should understand who they should be following. And it makes it simple. I ain't gotta try to be like nobody else. I ain't gotta try to be like no other. If a man ain't following Christ, then I ain't gotta follow him because I want to be like Christ. Why? Because I want the kingdom that Christ will inherit, and I want to be a part of it. Y'all get that, right? All right, somebody got that precept I asked for?
Sir.
Let's get it.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life.
Leadeth to what?
Unto life.
Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life. Somebody who's not an officer, please tell me what that means. Sound like a bunch of Bible jargon to me. What does that mean? Break it down in layman's term. If I'm a 5-year-old person, how do you explain straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to life? Go ahead.
It means plain and simple. Keep it short and simple. Do what you told. And you, like you say, keep it for a 5-year-old. As their father, you want to show me you love me and please me? Do what I tell you to do. I know better than you know what's good for you.
That's not what that's saying. All that is good. What you're saying is right, but that's not what this is saying. Anybody else want to give it a try? Go ahead.
It means that there's only one way to get into the kingdom.
Yeah, I'll take that. Anybody else? You more on it. Nobody else? All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the same thing. There's only one way. There's only one truth.
It ain't 100,000 different things that you can do to please the Lord. You got to go this way. You can't do this and that. Right? You can't halfway be in the truth. You can't be in the truth on Sunday and then not be in the truth on Monday through Thursday. Think about it on Friday and Saturday. You got to be in the truth all the time. Christ did. There wasn't a day in Christ's life that he didn't spend. Even when they was trying to chill with him, his family looking for him and everything, he said, Mom, you should have known I was going to be about my Father's business. Where them people at? Okay, you got the Spirit of Christ. Why you ain't about your Father's business? You doing your own thing. You trying to get money. You trying to get hoes. You trying to get whatever you trying to get, but you ain't about your Father's business. In order for you to be in the truth, you have to do what Christ did. The brother was walking on water and raising the dead. Don't you think he could have any woman he wanted? He ain't had time. He must be about his Father's business. That's why in the scriptures it say, if you're going to follow Christ, let them that have wives be as if they have none. Y'all understand why I'm pulling all these scriptures together? What my point is? Anybody not? Okay, in that straight gate, in that narrow way, they said that's the way that leads to life. In the scriptures, from this class, what do we know that life is when it's talking about life in the Bible? Go ahead.
Life is a blessing.
What blessing?
A blessing is
One second.
The Most High is going to give you the rulership.
The blessing that was promised to us from the Most High for doing what he said to do, for pleasing him, for being the sons of Jacob, for being the sons of Israel, for keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Well, there are promises and ordinances and things that the Lord said, if you do this, this is what I'm going to do. Right? This is structure. Nobody should be able to complicate this truth for you and make it like you got to second guess it or whatever the case may be. Straight is the gate. Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't like about the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We found the gate. We telling everybody about it, and we know everybody ain't going to follow it. I already know. Keep reading that scripture you got.
Which lead unto life, and few there be that find it.
And what? Everybody finds it.
Few there be that find it.
Few people gonna find it. Why is it that few people gonna find it? Somebody tell me that. Go ahead. Hold up, officer. Let me see if the trooper can answer. Go ahead.
if I may, I want to use a precept, Romans 9 and 15, because the Most High didn't have mercy on them, and they really don't want to follow the truth.
Okay, both of those answers are right, but they two separate answers, and I want to deal with both of them. The first one, he said, was because the Most High didn't have mercy on them. But why would the Most High not have mercy on them? They are Israel, right?
I don't know what concept.
Why didn't the Most High not have mercy on them? Somebody tell me that. Somebody else. Go ahead.
Because they're not not everybody is fit to do the job of a priest. Not everybody's fit to enforce the law.
Yeah.
And rule.
Yeah. Okay. They don't necessarily answer the question though. Yeah, you're right about doing the job of a priest and all of that. But what about just a regular person that the Lord trying to save their life and have mercy on? They don't have to do this job. You could come in and just be a sister that learns the truth, keeps the law, statutes, and commandments, and serve your husband. You can come in and be a brother that learn the truth, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you know you're a trooper in the school. You got your Hebrew name. You come to class. You come to class. You come to camp. You do it. You know what I'm saying. You help out or whatever, but you don't have to become a priest. You don't. So when we're talking about not having mercy, it's not having nothing to do with them becoming a priest. We just need that because right now we in the time where we supposed to be fishing our people back to the Most High. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to do the job that we do. You could just be a brother who gets himself and his house in order, or a sister that gets herself and her kids together and serves her husband like she's supposed to. What I'm saying is, when it says straight is the gate and narrow is the way and few be that find it, why is the few be that find it? The brother said, because one, the Lord ain't have mercy on everybody. And the other one is, what was the other part you said, Rakam?
Most High didn't choose them, but
Nah, that wasn't the other part. The other part was, I think they don't want to serve the Most High, something like that. All right.
They don't want to follow the truth.
All right, so this is one of the hard things for me to get coming in the truth, because I wanted everybody to be saved and everybody to be on there. And then I realized that the Lord don't really want everybody. Why? Why would not the Lord want everybody? Go ahead. Why wouldn't the Lord want everybody in Israel? He chose Israel as a nation. We're judged as a nation. Why wouldn't he want the entire nation? Go ahead.
Because the entire nation doesn't want him, and the covenant is an allegiance.
Exactly. Everybody in the nation does not want him. Some people prefer dope, and some people prefer hoes, and some people prefer weed and cigarettes and pork and crabs and fornication and pornography and everything else, and they love that more than they love the Lord. Now, why would the Lord want those people to be the people that he's going to put in charge of his chosen, special, separated people that he separated from everybody else on the earth, so that they could mess it up? So they could do people more harm than they do good? Somebody give me woe to the pastors. Somebody give me that real quick. Give me Isaiah 45:7 while they looking for that. Isaiah 45:7. What script were we on just now?
So we was at Matthew chapter 7, verse 14.
Well, go ahead and read it from the top.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way, which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Is there any more to that? That's it, right? Okay. All right. Most High and Christ. And few there be that find it. And the question was, why is there few that find it? Because the Most High didn't choose everybody. He's not gonna allow. Think about this. If we build in the kingdom, I remember back when I was part of, I thought I was a part of the Marcus Garvey movement. He said something that I thought at the time was profound. He said, "I have no intents of taking all blacks back to Africa. There are blacks that are no good here, and therefore will be no good once we get back." If you're trying to start and build a kingdom, it's like picking a team. You picking a team on who you want on your team, you're going to pick the best people first. Now, once you got all the best people you can pick, then you still got other people to pick. You'll pick what you can and what's left. But you want to get the best people first. The people who are willing to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The people who are willing to humble themselves. The people that are willing to deny themselves, to look at Christ's life and say, you know what, I'll be willing to give my life for the people of the Lord if I had to. I'll be willing to deny myself like Christ did unto death if I had to. Those are the people with that spirit. Those are the people that he wanted first. And this is who he's choosing now. And those people will reign with Christ. And those people will be more than just the bottom or whatever the case may be. Now you got other people, they put themselves over the people of God, and they don't do fruitful works, and they don't help the people out, and they are no good here in America, and therefore would be no good in the kingdom of heaven. Give me the woe unto the pastors.
God. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
That do what?
Say it.
That do what?
That destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
How do you destroy and scatter the Lord's sheep? Somebody tell me that. The easiest way to do it.
Block it.
Go ahead.
Give them a religion.
Yeah. The word how I was going to say it is you lie to them. You lie to them. You tell them they clean when they filthy. You tell them they deserve the kingdom of heaven when they don't. You tell them they don't have to follow the rules of God when they do. You give them a religion. You give them something that makes them feel good and never has them look at themselves like, I need to do better. The Lord ain't pleased with me. And in return, they'll bring you money every Sunday and buy you Rolls Royces and jets and everything and nice suits and $350 weaves like the first lady be having. All of that. All you gotta do is lie to them. This is my Bible. I am what it says I am. Anybody know where that comes from? Keep going up.
Saith the Most High. Therefore, thus saith the Most High power of Israel against the pastors that feed my people.
The Most High God of what?
The Most High power of Israel.
Of everybody.
Of Israel.
Right there, you should understand that the Lord don't want everybody because he ain't the God of everybody. Everything that I'm bringing out right now is just about structure and why it's needed. It simplifies everything in your life. If you want to be one of them people that say, I ain't going to listen to nobody, I know everything, I'm going to do what I want to do, then that's fine. Be ready to deal with the consequences. See, I'm ready to deal with the consequences of, Lord, I did everything you asked me to do. So if it don't go my way, I know it's all on you. I know it was your wasn't your will for me to get my way, because I have not pissed you off. I have not done wickedly in your sight. Y'all follow me? How do I know how do I know what's good and evil in the sight of the Lord? It's right here in the Bible. I ain't gotta guess. I ain't gotta let nobody tell me. If it's something I don't understand, he got men in place that will break it down, or whatever the case may be. But there are people in this earth that know what the Lord said, and instead of telling the people, they give them a religion. They give them a lie. And the Lord said, woe, which is destruction unto those people who have scattered and destroyed his sheep. Keep going.
That, oh God, against the pastors that feed my people, ye have scattered my flock and driven them away.
Stop right there. Against the pastors that feed my sheep, or feed my people. What are they feeding them? Remember what we were just talking about when we was talking about milk and meat? That's what they're feeding them. But theirs is of the religion and not of the Most High. This is the same analogy we was just using when we was breaking down what Paul was talking about when he was talking to them about giving them milk and meat. People need to be fed, but they should not live by the words or by bread alone, but by the words that come from the mouth of the Lord. Now, when people get up every Sunday and they want to go hear the words of the Lord, and you're feeding them a religion and not what the Lord said at all, to make them feel good and put money in your collection plate, that's not structural. It's not going to help the people benefit at all. They ain't going to change their life because they don't have a set of rules that tells them what's right and wrong. All it says is that the Lord forgave me for what I did. What is he forgiving you for if there is no law? What was Christ needed for? What is a sin? 1 John 2 and 3, we know. What is 1 John 2 and 3? Anybody that can tell me off the top of their head what it says. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Where there is no law, there is no sin.
Where there is no law, there is no sin. Sin is transgression of the law. It don't say where is there no law, there is no sin. It says sin is a transgression of the law. Right? This is the point that I'm trying to make is structure makes everything simple. I ain't got to know what I got to do right or wrong. The Lord has put a man over me in place where I can say, Salakia Adawan, should I do this or that? Salakia, should I do that or that? And it becomes his responsibility given to him by the Lord to make sure he tells me right. Y'all understand that? Okay. Now, remember what I was saying about the structure. Once you know the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what the Lord say. You learning it. You know the structure. Christ is the head of every man. The man is the head of the woman. And God is the head of Christ, right? You know the structure of that. You know that if you keep in the law, statutes, and commandments, that the Lord is going to either choose you or not choose you. Give me Isaiah 45 and 7. Did I call for that already?
Sir.
All right, somebody get me that. What precept did I call for?
You didn't call for one otherwise.
I did. Somebody just ain't forgot to go get it. It was I didn't say what it was, but I said what I needed. Go ahead and give me Isaiah 45 and 7. Okay. So here's the deal. Once you come into the truth, you decide to change your life. You think you're doing it. Let's say you learn the truth and you decide you don't want to follow the truth. Is that you or is that the Lord?
I got one.
Go ahead.
That's the Lord.
The Lord is doing what with you?
testing you?
Okay. All right, we'll come back to that. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that he's making you give it strong delusion.
You on it? You on it? Hold on. All right. I ain't trying to go too many places first. Let's go ahead and get the scripture I asked for. Officer Sharatazar, you somewhere to read? You able to read? All right. Get me Revelations 3 and 15 while the brother's reading this. Whoever got it, go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. I form the light and create darkness.
I form the light and create darkness. Keep going.
I make peace and create evil.
I make peace, shalom, and create evil. Who is this talking? Keep reading.
Oh God. I, the Most High, do all these things.
So what we taught is, you know what I'm saying, especially like if you came up like me, and you know, your family is Christian or whatever, everything that good happens is the Lord doing. Everything that bad happens, it's the devil doing it. But the scriptures say right here, I create peace and create evil. I created the darkness and the light. How does the Lord do all of that? And what is the point of all of that? And why would he create evil? These are all questions that nobody ever asks because they don't understand it. First of all, it's a structure. It's no different than if you tell your child, these brownies that I'm going to leave right here on this counter are for tomorrow. And then you leave your house and the child is there and the brownies are there. What is the purpose for doing that? Somebody. Go ahead.
You basically, you're testing them to see if they're gonna follow your instructions, to see if, you know what I mean. It's almost like the Most High, he'll put that in front of you to see how much you love him.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. Those things that are evil that people love to do so much, all those things that do is to get you to show the Lord whether you love that or you love him. It's very simple. It's very simple. They have a certain thing. I think it's a commercial or somewhere. It'd be like it's sinfully delicious. It'd be like, you know what I'm saying, devil's food cake or something like that. It's so good. It's got to be from the devil. Because the Lord, everything that the Lord wants us to do, don't nobody want to do it. That's the whole point what they're saying. Don't nobody want to not eat certain foods that taste good. Don't nobody want to not do some of the things that we did in the world that felt good or looked good. But it's all a test. So he can find out who the good children is. Who the children are going to do what they want to do and eat the brownies, or who's going to do what I said to do. Now, here's the thing about structure. You already know what the reward is. Straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leads to life, which is the blessings of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and doing what the Lord said and pleasing him. But there's also a hell or a torment or a punishment for going against it. Now, which side you on? Give me Revelations 3 and 15. I hope I ain't confusing y'all. Anybody confused right now what the point I'm trying to make? All right, let's get it. Revelation 3:15.
Revelations chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot.
What does this mean? I know your works, and you neither cold or hot. Now, if it was up to me, you'll be either one. What does this mean?
Blocking.
Who is this? Officer in the shop?
Gone.
All right, hold yours for a second. Let me see if somebody else could answer it.
Blocking, sir. Blocking, sir.
Go ahead, Shakar.
I was gonna say that
Trooper Shakar. Salakia, Trooper Shakar.
I was gonna say, that pretty much that he's saying that they're sitting on the fence, like they don't choose either good or bad.
Pick a side. You with me or against me? You gonna ride for me or you gonna ride against me? You a friend or an enemy? How do I know? You so lukewarm. You got my back sometimes. You know how people is. Mostly the people in your family is like that. When we come to talk about, oh, I love the Lord. Oh, I want to do what God say. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. And all of this other stuff. They down and they bout it. Some of them, they devote their whole life going to church and this, that, and that. But when it comes to the simple things like loving their brothers and sisters, like doing what the law, statutes, and commandments say, like you know what I'm saying, being willing to save or to help people to change their life, which will sometimes takes you to actually fight the demons that's on them for them, then they ain't there no more. The Lord wants the people who are willing to be zealous for him. And that's what we do at One West. We zealous for the Lord. We have zeal. We're going to go overboard to make sure we get them demons off of you. We're gonna fight you hand and foot, where you either going to run or you're going to give up that ghost. When I say give up the ghost, I'm talking about dying. You're going to kill that old man, or that person is going to get up and leave up out of here. We're not going to be able to coexist with the nigga you was or the sister you was before you came in the truth. Don't work like that. What you should be doing is learning and becoming closer to what the Lord would have you to be. And we're giving you a structure to do it in. Do your 90 days. Oh, you ain't got your 90 days done right. You got your 90 days. You wondering why you ain't got your Hebrew name. You need a little bit more time, and you're not falling into the structure. You in class, you making your check-ins, you doing everything right, but you still holding on to the life that you live that had no rules, that allowed you to do what you want to do. You got to fight a little bit harder. You got to be hot or cold. You can't be warm. What did it say after that?
So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
There it is right there. Because you won't pick a side, the Lord will spit you out. Pick a side. You want to be on the side that's going to win, or you want to be on the side that can do whatever they want to do. That's it. You want to be on the Lord's side and you can't do everything you want to do. You got to do what he say, or you want to be one of those people that's going to do what you want to do. It's up to you. I mean, the Lord already know what you're going to do anyway. He putting the spirit on you anyway. He's bringing Satan to test you and tempt you to see if you want to win or not anyway. But since you won't pick a side, see, that's what people do. They think they safe. I ain't killing nobody. I ain't robbing nobody. If I just sleep with somebody besides my husband, nobody won't know. I say my grace. I say my prayers. If I just have a little pork chop sandwich, the Lord won't care. Y'all follow me? If I just go to if I just go to this birthday party, or if I just go to this you know, whatever, do that. It ain't a big deal because I ain't killing nobody. Nah, you need to pick a side and be all the way on it, or else the Lord will spit you out of his mouth. Romans 9:15, the brother was bringing out. At the end of the day, it's not to you. It's not up to you anyway. It's not to him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but it's who the Lord decides to show mercy on. If you in here and you talking about, I'm going to change my life and I'm going to be a part of this truth and I'm going to live these laws, statutes, and commandments, and I understand, and I'm coming to the classes and I'm checking in and I'm getting with brothers and sisters and we building up this nation and I'm going to the Passover and I'm doing all of this, it's because the Lord put the spirit on you to do that. Precept. I'll tell you this, we ain't all God's children. That's the precept. But it don't say it in that word. Somebody got it? Go ahead.
Is it all Israel is not Israel?
That works too, but this one explains it a little bit more. The reason why it says all Israel is not Israel is because the Lord has a chosen people by bloodline. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, through that bloodline. Like King David came from the tribe of Judah. King Solomon all the way down to Christ, Joseph, all of them were Judites. Right? They go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They had the blood. But you had people within that line that was from the blood, but we ain't never heard about these people. They didn't do no great works. They didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the most. They were not great men. They were not great women. Right? But then some of them had the same spirit that Christ had on them. This is how you can tell who is the sons of God. All right, give me Romans give me John chapter 1, where it says, as many as believed on him gave he, something like that. I think it's like verse 12. Go ahead.
So God, John chapter 1, verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of the power.
All right, so everybody's supposed to be, according to the church, everybody's the sons of God. We all God's children, right? First of all, the scripture said the sons of God is Israel. And then Israel went off. All Israel ain't Israel because some of them have not the spirit of the power. Now, when Christ came back on the scene, he came to his own, meaning the children of God, the children of Israel, and some of them received him not. Most of them received him not. But as many as did, gave him the power to do what?
Even to them, gave him the power to become the sons of the power.
If you believed on Christ and did what he did and did what he said, then you got the spirit, or you have the opportunity to become the sons of God. Welcome back to the family. It's like the prodigal son story. Give me Romans 8 and 9 real quick.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Can Romans chapter 1, like that whole chapter, Romans chapter 1, can that be a precept? From like mainly starting from like verse 21.
You're talking about where it says, because they did not believe in the God, he gave them over to believe in 4-footed creatures and beasts and all of that stuff. That's what you're talking about?
Like reprobate mind and all of that.
Even the women changed into those things that was unseemly, and the men with men, and they all lying. This is what happens. That's the people that the Lord spewed out of his mouth because they didn't choose him. The scriptures say, make your election sure. If you still dancing around with this thing, you done been to class, you done heard it. Every question you had, you done got breakdowns on it. You ain't not doing it because you confused. You ain't not doing what you're supposed to do because you still thinking about it. You just wicked, or you just love whatever it is your sin is more than you love the Lord. That's all it is. Just be real with yourself. This is like, hey, look, I love this money. I gotta go get this money, nigga. I don't know what y'all talking about, these laws, statutes, commandments. I'm trying to get this cash. Or you like, I just want to go smoke. That's all. I don't really care about all that stuff y'all talking about. I just want to smoke. That's being hot or cold. You choosing a side and you keeping it real. Because you can't fool the Lord. He already know. Somebody got Romans 8:9? Sharatazar, the answer to your question was, Khan, you could use it, but it might be a little bit too deep. You have to break it all the way down for somebody to see how this ties into that. All right? All right, go ahead. Whoever got it.
Romans chapter 8, verse 9. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit.
Hold on right there. Stop right there. Remember what we said, not all Israel is of Israel? And I told you that the first prerequisite for you to be the children of God, the sons or daughters of God, is for you to have the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The second prerequisite that Christ more so that came in the world along with Christ is what we just read in Romans 1. Unto them that believe, he gave him the power to become the sons. They were able to come back because they put a certain spirit, the spirit of the Most High, on them, and they did what he said, right? Now, here's Paul breaking this same thing down to show you that everybody ain't God's children. Everybody's not God's children, even Israelites. How many niggas you know that got the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? They're on the 12 tribes chart. They fit there, but their spirit is like Esau: murder, kill, destroy, rape, rob. That's their spirit. They have put on the spirit of the enemy. They do not belong to the Most High. And this is Paul breaking it down. He's saying you are not of the flesh, meaning you're not just an Israelite based on the flesh, but you of the spirit too. Keep reading.
If so be that the spirit of the power dwells in you.
If so, it's because the spirit of God dwells in you. This is how you know that you are the son or the daughter of the Most High. Because no matter what you want to do, you're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. You'll still not do it because the spirit of God dwells in you. And you have applied the structure, which is the law, statutes, and commandments, the rank and order, and everything that comes along with it to put your life together that the Lord is using to save your life. If so, if this is you, that you operating in the spirit, it's because the spirit of God dwells in you. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
Now, this for the other people.
Now.
But this for the, you see how he say now? Now, if you operate like this, then you on our side. That means you hot. That means the Lord is going to keep you. He's not going to spew you out of his mouth. You're not going to be destroyed. You're not going to fall for the them pastors that it was talking about that's selling you religion. You ain't going to fall for it. Keep going. Now what? This for the other people.
Tom. If any man have not the spirit of Christ.
What's the spirit of Christ? Stop right there. What's the spirit of Christ? Anybody? Go ahead. Go ahead, Trooper come.
Obedience to the Most High.
To follow the Lord, to do what the Lord said, unto death. The Lord tell you to go out and to risk your life to save the whole entire nation of Israel, being diligent enough to do it. What does my life mean anyway if my people gonna be on the bottom? I'm gonna save my life. What good is it to save, gain the whole world and lose your soul? Remember, this is all spiritual. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Christ, meaning the spirit to take on this structure, to put on this rank and order, to put on, these laws, statutes, and commandments, what does it say about those people? Are they the sons of God?
Oh, God. He is none of his.
He is none of his. You do not belong to, if you are not able to walk in this structure, and the reason why I keep saying structure, because it's important. It's key to your life in the truth. Nothing separates the ISUPK from any other religion and all of this on the earth, but rank, order, structure, laws, statutes, commandments, ordinances, all the things that's laid out by the Lord. It's easy to follow the rules when you know the rules. If somebody told you it ain't no rules, you would get out there on the highway and go 150 miles an hour and kill your damn self. If somebody told you was no rules, you'll sleep with everything moving. Cats, mice, dogs, women, everything. Men, everything. If there is no rules, if there is no structure, then you'll never be able to be in the truth, because you'll never be able to please a God who gave you structure, who gave you life if you do it, and death if you don't do it. This is the whole point. The whole point of the truth is to put structure in your life to a people who are hard-headed, stiff-necked, who want to do their own thing, who want to serve idols, who want to be like the other nations, who want to follow after their gods, who want to rather serve, all these fake African gods than to serve the God of Israel, the God that made heaven and earth and created and chose a people to serve him. This is the most important thing, Akim, Akwathium. All right? And if you have not the spirit of Christ, you are none of his. You do not belong to the Lord. He has spit you out of his mouth. You are not following the straight gate. You're following the path that leads to destruction. And guess what? If you look in the Bible dictionary, I believe if you look up Christianity, it says it's a billion, such and such billion Christians on the earth. Well, why is everything in haywire? Why is none of them are following Christ? Colossians 2:8, one of my favorite scriptures. We could just read it right now to go into it. Somebody get that? Colossians 2:8 is always on there. Go ahead.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
This is what happens. There are men, remember we was talking about the woe to the pastors? Remember the scripture we read about that, where the Lord was saying that they have scattered and destroyed my flock. This is what he's talking about by spoil. Scattered and destroyed my flock. Keep going.
God. After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world.
Somebody get me the definition. Somebody give me the definition of that word rudiment. Rudiment. Beware lest any man spoil you, meaning to make you no good, to destroy you. Beware lest any man. Beware means to keep your eyes open. Watch. So that nobody destroys you through philosophy. What is philosophy? God love everybody.
Philosophy, sir.
God love everybody. That's a big one. Go ahead.
Strong Bible dictionary. Rudiment.
any first thing from which the others belonging to some theory or composite whole take their rise in elements. First principle, the letters of the alphabet as the element of B.
Stop back. Stop. Go back again to the beginning of that definition. What it say?
Any first thing.
You said first thing?
From which sir.
Go ahead.
From which the others belonging to some theory or composite whole take their rise.
Some theory. You said theory, right?
Sir. Theory.
Spell that.
S-E-R-I-E-S.
Some series of what? Or composite?
Theory. Sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, take their rise.
Theorize?
No, take their rise as in one thing starts another.
Oh, okay. Meaning like 1, 2, 3 in a series, 4, 5, 6. Meaning they started. The rudiments of the world. These are the things that have been started that people follow, but they are of the world. These religions have been started. People follow them, but they are not of the Most High. Beware lest any man destroy you through philosophy. What is some philosophy? Like I said, God loves everybody. John 3:16, the wrong version. The law is done away with. Got to do it for the kids. Everything that you ever heard outside of the truth is philosophy. Vain deceit, meaning lies. Rudiments of the world, meaning they started a sequence of events. Like it was just like, especially if you put it into Constantine or whatever, right? Where they already knew that December 25th was Nimrod's birthday, but they'll tell you it's Jesus' birthday. Where they already knew that the celebration of a star or Astarte or Asherah, which is all the same goddess, quote unquote, idol, is celebrated on Easter, a star's birthday, or whatever the case may be. The goddess of fertility, hence the bunnies, the eggs, so on and so forth. But they'll tell you it has something to do with Christ. Beware lest any man destroy you through philosophy, vain deceits after the rudiments of the world. Keep going. Who was reading it? After the rudiments of the world. Shakar.
Yes, sir. I got it.
Shakar, that was you? Who was reading the scripture? Yeah.
After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ.
After the rudiments of the world. Did it say anything about the traditions of men?
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
This is what we doing in here, and everybody gonna think you crazy for keeping the Passover, for keeping the Feast of Unleavened Bread, for keeping the Feast of Purim, for keeping the Feast of the memorial blowing of the trumpets, for Feast of Dedications, for dwelling in booths, for doing all of this other stuff, for following these laws, statutes, and commandments, because you're keeping the traditions of your forefathers. You're keeping the traditions of the children of God. You're keeping the traditions that was given to us from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You living by a structure that nobody else wants to live by, and you trying to make it make sense to them. They following the traditions of men. They ain't gonna get together with you for no Passover. They ain't gonna come together with you for no Feast of Unleavened Bread, but they will be at whoever it is what they call it, July 4th, Memorial Day weekend, New Year's Eve party, Christmas party, birthday party. They'll be to all of that, and none of that has nothing to do with the Lord. These are the traditions of men. These are the rudiments of the world. And the last 3 words or the last 4 words in that script says what?
And not after Christ.
This has nothing to do with Christ. Has nothing to do with the Lord. It has nothing to do with the Most High. You ain't holy because you give somebody a birthday present or because you buy them a Christmas present or Mother's Day or go to their house and eat ribs on the 4th of July. None of that is serving the Lord. What we did last night was we read it in the Hebrew and in the English that the Lord said you were supposed to do it. It's a law. So why would anybody not want to do it? Because if they have not the Spirit of Christ, even if it's your mama, even if it's your husband, even if it's your wife, even if it's your son or daughter, they are none of his. Everybody get that, right? All right, Most High Christ. Now, did I call for any more precepts? All right, so let's go back into this structure a little bit more because it's got a little bit to do with rank and order as well. All right. I want y'all to understand how we set up. And we set up a certain way. The reason why is because the Lord made it like this for a reason. You see us say stuff like Commanding General Yohana and all the generals and all of this other stuff. See if I got this real quick. See if I can find it real quick. Is it Exodus chapter 20? Somebody check Exodus chapter 20. See if that's when the Most High spoke to Israel. I believe it is. One day I'll be as good as them captains and officers that remember stuff off the top of their head. Yeah, I think it's 20 and 22. Go ahead,
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1.
Verse
and the Most High spake all these. Like this?
Drop down to verse 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 20. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for the power is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
Let you do what?
That ye sin not.
This is why the Lord wants you to fear him. So that you won't sin, so that you won't kill yourself. Keep going.
And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where the power was.
Oh, Salakia. All right. Hold on 1 second. This ain't it. I'm looking for somebody. Find it for me. I thought this was it. Go ahead.
It's you looking for the rank and order structure?
No, I'm looking for when the Lord spoke directly to the Israelites before he was telling Moses, and they was like, we don't want to hear from the Lord no more. We want to hear, and they were scared. It was like, I thought it was verse 18 where it says the people saw the thunderings and smoke and all of that, but it might be something else. Hold on. Go ahead.
That was verse 1.
That was verse 1? La'ah. That ain't what I'm looking for. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. All right, one of y'all priests find it for me. This is what I want. when the Lord spoke directly to the children of Israel and they were scared and they said, "We don't want you to speak to us no more."
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
It's Exodus chapter 20, verse 19.
I thought it was. All right, so we was right there. Give me verse 18, Salakia. I missed verse 19. I guess I ain't skimmed through it. So we was right there. All right, we was in the right place the whole time. Salakia for that. Somebody get whoever was reading. I think it was Shakar.
Book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 18. And all the people saw the thundering and the lightning, and the noise of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off.
So they looking at the Lord as getting down. You know what I'm saying? He's writing out the scriptures on a stone tablet for them to see. He's showing out for the people that he just brought up out of Egypt to see that he is the Lord, the most high power, the same one that got them up out of there. And I need to speak with y'all for a minute because I didn't take y'all out of America. I didn't separate y'all from America for y'all to go do the same thing. I'm saying America. I'm just using it in terms that he would say to us. The Lord ain't show you this truth for you to go and live just like everybody else is living. He did it to separate you. You in the midst of the wilderness now. You don't even know. You don't understand it. You're going to watch other people remain in Egypt, remain in bondage, and you can operate like a free man because the Lord has driven out the Egyptians. He's separated you from everybody else. But now the Lord is getting down back in this time with the thunder and lightning and smoke and all of this coming from the mountains. And the people, you like, they kind of backed away, like they stood afar off. Like, let us back up. I don't know what's going on over here. Keep reading.
And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not the power speak with us, lest we die.
Yeah. So they did fear the Lord, but they was like, we can't even hear it, man. Just speak to us, Moses. We don't want to deal with the Lord straight up. Because we feel like, you know what I'm saying, if he talked to us, we gonna die. This is the reason why when you hear somebody say, I talk to the Lord, I speak to the Lord, and they won't go to a man of the Lord, you know they ain't really went to the man of the, they ain't really went to the Lord because they would have feared for their life. There's always been someone in between the Lord and his people. Always. The Lord didn't come and pull everybody up. He drew Adam up and told Adam to tell Eve, and then they had kids, and he built the truth. He didn't tell everybody. He told Noah. He didn't tell everybody. He told the priest. He told Samuel. He told you know who to be the kings and different stuff. He didn't tell everybody. He told Moses. And the people actually begged for that to happen because they did not want to see the fury of the Lord come down upon them. So now, I'm saying all that to say this. The structure that's given where you have men of the Lord that's in place, that the Lord speaks to, and they're supposed to speak to the people, this is nothing new. This is a part of it. Once you got the spirit of Christ and you're ready to follow and serve the Lord, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to your own understanding. Acknowledge him in all thy ways. He will direct thy path. He gonna show you which way to go, and he gonna use a man of the Lord to do it. Lord ain't finna talk to you through no burning bush. This is part of the structure, if y'all understand what I'm saying. You ain't finna go and talk to. Give me Exodus chapter 4, verse 16 real quick. Exodus chapter 4, verse 16.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 16. And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people.
Okay, so it's a spokesman that's to the people. Somebody that's speaking to the people, right? And that's going to be Aaron. This is where the Lord is laying that down. People ain't going to the God. The people ain't going to Moses. Aaron is the one who's laying down everything and telling it to him and saying what needs to be said. No different than the officers in ISUPK. We're saying what needs to be said, but they ain't our words. What I'm teaching you tonight ain't my words. I ain't coming up with this. I'm not smart enough. I'm not wise enough to come up with this. This was around way before I was ever born. The Lord gave it to men of the Lord. I'm doing the plug and play. I'm applying the structure to my life and allowing the Lord to use me because he don't really need me. Keep going.
And he shall be, even he shall be to thee instead of a mouth.
And this person gonna be, you're gonna use him like your mouth. He's going to be your mouthpiece. In other words, what you want to say, he's going to say it. Keep going.
Oh God. And thou shalt be to him instead of God.
Wait a minute. Is this idol worship? Is this man worship? Is this you following a man says, and thou shalt be to him instead of God? This is the Most High telling a man, Moses, that you are to be the word of God to him. You are to be like a God. You are to be a Lord over him. The words of the Lord are going to come through you to him, and he's going to take them to the people. Everybody understand that, right? So where these people come from when they talk about ain't no ranking, no order, and no structure supposed to be there, they just going to hear from the Lord they self. They just going to do some self-study. When they start talking about, well, y'all in these camps and all of this other stuff, yeah, you just want to go and follow and do whatever you want to do. You don't believe in rank and order and structure when the Lord has laid it down that way since forever. It's wicked. What happens is because of these wicked leaders, the wicked rulership, these fake pastors, these fake Israelite groups, then people are afraid to follow the real men of the Lord. But they done followed them. They done gave them all their money. What about people who genuinely have the Spirit of Christ on them, who genuinely keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments? This is the order and structure you're supposed to follow. The men of the Lord are speaking the words of the Lord to the people, and you're supposed to go to them. Now, give me Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10. At some point, it couldn't just be Moses and Aaron. It got two ways. It's just like, Captain Collins, I was talking about it the other night. Like, I wouldn't want to have General Muhammad's phone. How many people you think calling this brother for counsel 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning? Sometimes it's something important. Sometimes it's something stupid. Who knows? But everybody wants to speak to a man of the Lord, and they shooting right past the officer in their city or the captain in their little area and going straight. I want to talk to Moses. I ain't for the simple cats that might. I'm not calling Jeremiah and Moses, but I'm giving y'all a reference of what we do here today and let y'all know it's the same way that it was laid out in the Bible. General Yohana would hold that seat today. Everybody want to go to General Yohana. You can't get to General Yohana. Why don't you talk to Aaron? Why don't you talk to the people that's up under him? That the Lord is speaking to the man in charge and he's speaking to everybody else. Well, this is the beginning of that. Go ahead,
Oh God. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 10. The Most High, your power, has multiplied you. And behold, ye are this day as the stars of the heaven for multitude.
It's a lot of y'all now. The Lord done multiplied y'all. Y'all is the stars of heaven. It's a bunch of you. It's a bunch of you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this nation. Keep going.
Oh God, the Most High power of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he has promised you.
He gave that promise to Abraham that he would do that. Keep going.
How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife?
This is Moses. How can me, just one man, deal with all the problems in Israel? Can y'all imagine that? The Lord done used one man to lead these people out, to give them the law, statutes, and commandments, to do everything. And now he's got to give them counsel, and he's got to fix problems, and he's got to oversee that everybody is doing what they're supposed to be. This is when it changed from the Lord speaking to one man, and him speaking to one man, and him speaking to the entire nation, to the structure that we've built here in the ISUPK. Keep reading. What verse you on? 13? Okay, go ahead.
Take you wise men.
Stupid men.
And understanding.
He said, take some stupid men?
Take you wise men.
Wise men. Go ahead.
And understanding.
And men that understand. Keep going.
And known among your tribes.
Good reputations. Keep going.
And I will make them rulers over you.
Listen, man, when you come in here and you're asked to be humble, there's brothers that's older than me that say yes, sir. I tell people all the time, back in the world, Captain Contazar was like my little cousin. I would look at him like this little young nigga, whatever. In here, he's sir. He's Khan out of one kind, and I go to him for counsel. Why? Because he's a wise man of understanding. He's a man known throughout our tribes, and the Lord has made him a ruler over me. Everybody understand? Y'all get it, right? So just follow the structure. Follow the structure. Follow the rank. Follow the order. It don't matter what. Man, Officer Ariel came and he was born in the truth. Way younger than me. Been 5 stacks forever. Salakia, sir, if I could. See, in the world, you taught to respect age. You taught to respect the brother who got more money. You taught to respect it. And here is the wisdom, the law, statutes, and commandments, the time and the work and the effort that they put in with this Lord, with the Lord, with the Most High. They earned their rank. Give it to them. The Lord said he will make them rulers over you, and he doing it to save your life. This is the structure. This is what you need in order to keep you grounded from getting out of pocket. Because you're maybe 65 years old and still dumb as the day is long. You may be 45 and some 20-year-old needs to tell you to shut your damn mouth, and you need to say Khan Adawan Khan and do it. It's just structure. It ain't no disrespect. It's disrespect to that demon that's on you. But to you, it's going to save you. This is what you need. It's key to your walk with the Most High. Hope y'all get that. Keep going up.
Verse 14. And he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men,
it keeps saying wise and known. He took those men and did what was told. Go ahead.
And made them heads over you.
Right.
Captains over thousands. And captains over hundreds. And captains over 50. And captains over 10. And officers among your tribes.
The same thing that Moses did coming out of the land of Egypt to establish structure, rank, and order in the nation of Israel is the same exact thing we do here in the ISUPK. It's no different. It's no different. Everybody see what happening? I put my pants on just like y'all. I asked y'all a question. Y'all saying Khan out of one kind. Why? Because of this structure. It keeps you humble. Because every man you say con out of one, con two, got another man to say con out of one, con two. The men that I look up to that's above me, they look up to a man above them. And its rank, its order, its structure, it keeps Israel from confusion. This is what I'm telling you. Confusion is the reason why we have problems in Israel. Everybody want to be like, well, why won't all Israel come together and all the camps won't come together? Because they don't want the structure. They don't want to do what y'all brothers did and say, you know what? When I came in here, I thought I knew everything I needed to know about the Bible. I was like, I'm just going to come in here and eventually I will find something that I can cut ISUPK with. I will find something that I can be like, oh, I knew this before I came in. Y'all don't know this. And then I would prove them wrong and I would leave out of the school. That's what I thought. Am I the only one that thought that? Y'all probably don't think like me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was the only one carnal enough to think that I was going to come in here and find something they was teaching that was a lie, and then I was going to leave. I bet you this ain't true. I bet you I know more about the Bible than them. 5 years later, I'm still here, and I know more than I ever knew in my life because I've asked every question I needed to ask. I've tried my damnedest to prove it wrong. This is the home of the truth, and we're doing exactly what they did in the Bible. And it's giving me the structure that I need in order to be able to run my household, in order to be able to help save my household and everybody that comes in it. Women, children, whatever. Keep reading now. $16. Take your phone off.
Verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
This is what we charged to do by the Lord. Here, these things that goes on, let's say two brothers got a problem with each other. This is the counsel that we got go through right now to make sure and see who's right and judge righteously with every man and his brother. Read verse 17.
Ye shall not respect persons in judgment.
I can't just roll with you. If I like you know, like Rackham, Trooper Rackham, you know, that's my blood cousin, right? I can't say, well, because that's my blood cousin, I'm gonna say he right over Officer Nishak because I like him better, or I like Officer Nishak more than I like Officer Shirazazai. So I'm gonna be like, yo, he's right. Don't have no respect of person in the judgment, but you shall hear the small as well as the great, and you shall not be afraid to face of the face of men, for the judgment is of the Lord. Whatever comes down, who's ever right, who's ever wrong, whoever has to do this, that, or the other, this is all coming from the Lord. Ain't no men in charge. Christ said, I can do nothing of my own self except what the Lord tell me to do. What Aaron was telling the people was what Moses was telling him. What Moses was telling Aaron is what the Lord was telling him. The same rank order and all of that is the same thing, and it all goes back to what the ranking order is right now in the school, outside of the school, in your family. Christ is the head of every man, the man is the head of the woman, so on and so forth. So why is anybody confused about who they should be listening to? Why is anybody confused about who they should be following? Because of these religions that these pastors have given us, because of the lies that's been taught to us by other people, other nations, all of this other stuff. Without those, the confusion of these lies and these religions, we would have a pure structure which the Lord intended for us to have. Give me Exodus chapter 18, verse 21, just to show you. It's not only one place in the Bible where you can look and find ISUPK. You want to say, somebody say, well, show me ISUPK in the Bible. I'll show it to you. Exodus chapter 18, verse 21. Where is ISUPK in the Bible? Why y'all got to go to New York for the Passover? Because the head of the school said so. That's why. It's that simple. The man over me told me to do it. So now who becomes responsible if something happens? The man over you. I've set thee as a watchman over Israel. Y'all familiar with that scripture, right? All right. Somebody got it? The one that I asked for, Exodus 18?
Sir. 18
Go ahead.
and 21.
18 and 21. This is the ISUPK in the Bible.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men.
They got to be
such
able.
As,
Go ahead.
such as fear God.
The
Men
people, hold on, slow down. Let's deal with this. Able men, first of all. The ones that fear God. If a man fears God, what will he do? Go ahead.
He's going to keep the laws.
He's going to do what God said to do. Okay, keep going.
Men of truth.
Men of truth. They ain't going to be no liars. Go ahead.
Hating
covetousness. Hating covetousness. Rakam, I'm going to have you look that up. Trooper Rakam. Hating covetousness. I'm going to have somebody else guess and see what that means. Anybody know what that means? Go ahead.
Covetousness is to want things a lot that don't belong to you, or strive for power or something.
What do you say? To want things that don't belong to you?
Kind of to covet something, right?
You got the definition, Rakam? Rakam, you still in the truth? Damn. That was my boy, too. Salakia. Can somebody else get the definition of covetousness? Keep reading while we keep going. These are the people that you have to have in place. Go ahead, Rakam. I know you had the slave, right? Oh, that's Mashamar. Go ahead, Trooper Mashamar. You got it? Go ahead.
Covetousness is understood by dictionary. Covetousness has various shades of meaning. The desire to have something, the inordinate desire to have something, excessive desire of what belongs to another. Outstanding examples of covetousness are a con.
You can start right there. Exactly what the brother said, right? The desire to have something that belongs to somebody else. You can covet thy neighbor's wife. You can covet your enemy's money. You can covet your enemy's rulership. You can be envious of your oppressor, all of these different things. But the men that you were supposed to put over you hate that. They got to hate that. And it says, place such over you. Who was reading Exodus 18 and 21?
That was me.
Keep going right there, from right there. Hating covetousness.
What concept? Hating covetousness and place such over them to be rulers of thousands and rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50 and rulers of 10.
Keep going.
judge the people at all seasons. And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
This is what the Lord put in place so that the man that he chooses to rule over the nation of Israel will not have to bear the burden by himself. So when you talk about a man saying, oh, well, I don't got to be down with no certain group or no camp or no this or no that, he's working or operating as an individual. And there are a lot of people who've done that, and they've started alternative groups, alternative camps or schools, if you will, to get people separated from doing what the man the Lord chose to do. It's no different than when you had Christ on the scene. You still had people following John. You still had people doing what John wanted, what John was doing, and following him. They wasn't in the truth. They knew of the truth. They heard about it. They thought they was in the truth. But there's only one truth. 1,000 different lies and one truth. The rank order instruction ISUPK surpasses them all. Where else do you hear men respond with such respect and honor and how we speak to each other? The water, thank you. Ayandabar, you're welcome. Salakia, excuse me. Yes, sir. Count out of one. Give me some more. Baba Kushar, please. Who the hell says please, thank you, yes, sir, excuse me, more than people in the ISUPK? This is brotherhood. This is structure. This is rank. This is order. This is how Israel is supposed to deal with each other. Not everybody doing their own thing. Not everybody want to be a king, and I'm gonna start my own group, and I'm gonna get people to follow me, and I'm gonna do classes at my house and my draws, and I'm gonna wear, all my people gonna wear this color, and they fighting against the oracles of God. They fighting against the things that the Lord already laid down. The Lord already got a truth. The Lord already got a man he put in place. And when that man is gone, he's gonna raise up another man, just like he did when Moses was gone. Joshua was raised up. There's always going to be somebody in the earth that the Lord got his hand on to raise up the nation of Israel. You're looking at it right now. You're looking at it. Stop fighting the structure. Stop fighting the rank. Stop fighting the order. Go and fall into it and be hot. Don't be, I wish you was hot or cold. Since you ain't neither one, then the Lord gonna spit you out. And you can go back and grab your tambourine and do what you want to do. You can go and grab you a blunt in one hand and tambourine in the other one and do what you want to do. You can have a boyfriend and a girlfriend at the same time and do whatever you want to do. Because you don't want to serve the Lord. If you did, what you would do is put everything that you want to the side, do what Christ did. Because the scripture said, if you have not the spirit of Christ, you are none of his. What Christ said was, nevertheless, not my will, but yours. Everybody get that, right? All right. Let me see. Let's get Romans chapter 13, and then we'll go ahead and end the class. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions on the topic? Go ahead.
I want to know if 1 Samuel chapter 99 will be a good precept.
Go ahead and read it.
Or lyric. I don't know. 1 Samuel chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, come and let us go see the seer. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer.
Okay. Could this be a precept for what subject?
Like, you know, how you was bringing out earlier how, well, you know how people say that, you know, God told them this and God told them that, or whatnot. You know, I remember when Sarah said, you know, she went to inquire of the Lord. You know, she didn't go to them. She didn't go speak to the Most High. She went to go see a prophet.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes. And all right, when you're dealing with that, the main thing you got to understand about people, and I guess we'll get this one too. So we're gonna have two more scriptures. Is pride is a hell of a drug. Pride. People are too proud. In other words, you know how I call Officer Shawar Yalo, I call Captain Katazai, I call Captain Ratazaya and say, Salakia, sir, I have an issue that I cannot deal with on my own. I would like to inquire your expertise or your knowledge on the subject or whatever the case may be. I would use the word counsel, but in the UPK, we kind of tightening up on that. But when I was coming in, it was called counsel. We call and get counsel. Like, should I go to work tomorrow? Or I have this issue with my rib. How should I deal with that? Or my child did this in school. I got this problem. It keeps coming up. Or I think, et cetera, et cetera. And you will inquire of the man of the Lord. The problem is nobody wants to really hear what the Lord got to say. So people take it upon themselves to come up with their own solution and say that the Lord told them to do it, right? So what you bringing out at this scripture where it's like, even back then, before they was even called prophets, they was called seers, but you always went to a man to get the words of the Lord. That's a good precept to prove that. But as far as what we talking about now, about structure, rank, order, that wouldn't necessarily suffice. The reason being is because in that scripture is saying that like this could come from anywhere. This seer or this prophet could come from anywhere. And what I'm telling y'all now is it can't come from anywhere but the home of the truth, but the people that's following Christ, but the people, the one body that the Lord chose, but from Moses, Aaron, but from Noah, but from commanding General Yohana, etc., etc. You understand?
Kind of a concept.
All right. So yeah, you can use that, but for this particular subject, it wouldn't work. All right, somebody got the precept for me?
Right, sir. Romans chapter 13, and what verse?
Verse 1.
Good.
Go ahead.
Book of Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the power.
Somebody break that down for me. Let every soul be subject unto a higher power, for there is no power but the power. Read it exactly like it said real quick.
Power of God. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power. For there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God.
Stop right there. Somebody tell me what all that means. Go ahead.
Like y'all want, I may, it's saying like, you know, submit yourself to the men that are above you, that are wiser than you, and because the Most High put them in that position for a reason. They're like watchmen over you.
What about Esau?
Like yourself.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Con, that's what I was gonna say. Like any authority or power that's set up on the earth right now, you need to respect that power and fall up under it, because the Most High set it up that way for a purpose.
Absolutely. If you gotta serve Esau, you know why? It's because you wouldn't serve the Lord. Now the Lord got to take. To some people, even what you said was right, Sharatazah. But the reason why I asked about Esau is because I was giving you an example of when it didn't have anything to do about the men over you. What if you're a sister? You know what I'm saying? The Lord might have gave you a husband that's not in the truth. Well, that's the hand the Lord gave you. What if you're a child? You may have the worst mother and father, the worst parents on earth, but the Lord set that up that way. You got to be subject to them. They are over you. And the Lord put it, you know what? Me, I'm so laid back. I'm so nonchalant. I need someone over me like Officer Shawarya. It's the only thing that could get me together. I couldn't have came up under Captain Rogers. We got the same mannerism. Now, I know he don't play, but you understand what I'm saying? The Lord going to give you what you need to get you together. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Be subject to whatever's up over you. If you got to serve, you know what I'm saying? If you got to serve Esau at the job and you wondering why you got to deal with all of this, the Lord put that devil over you. So go ahead and serve him. Go ahead to verse. Don't serve him, Salakia. Let me rephrase that. Go ahead and don't try to resist the power that the Lord gave that devil over you, but serve the Lord. Keep going out. Read verse 2.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinances of God, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
Keep trying to buck Esau. He over you. He gonna keep shooting you in the head. Keep trying to buck the men that's over you. You're gonna end up finding yourself not doing something they told you to do, or doing something they told you not to do, and it working against you terribly, and it damn near killing you, and it getting you in a position you don't know how you're gonna get yourself out of, because the watchmen, like the brother said, that were placed over you gave you warning and you did not take heed. The people the Lord told you to do, or told you to follow, or told you to serve, you did not do it. And then therefore it's going to get you, or you're going to receive to yourself damnation. Here's the key in all of this: structure. If you understand who you're supposed to follow, it don't matter what they're telling you to do. This is like General Muhammad was saying a week ago or so ago. General Yohana tell me to walk out the window. I'm walking out the window. I'll just believe that I won't die. Now, you know why he knows that? Because he knows General Yohana is not going to allow him to die. Because he would be responsible for him and he would have to answer for that. Y'all understand, right? Read verse 3.
Verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
Stop right there. When you're talking about people who saying that there are no rules, there is no laws, and all of this, you don't have to follow none of that. Those things is because the law, statutes, and commandments are a terror to people who want to do their own pleasure, their own evil. Having men above you to tell you what to do is not going to be a problem unless you don't want to do right. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. You want to, somebody get me this last scripture, 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. This is the difference between being in the truth and being in the world. Being in the truth, you have a rank, a order, a structure. You have the Spirit of Christ. You have all of these things. This is key to you being successful and walking in this truth. This is key to you killing that old man or that old woman and becoming a new creature in Christ and serving the Lord and pleasing the Lord, is to grab a hold of this. Like right now, I almost get happy when I get a rule and I have to do something. Dang, I didn't want to do that. Well, I got the order. Now that I got the order, it don't matter what I want no more. And I can't go do it my way. And therefore, it's the Lord taking control of my life. Everybody understand? 1 John 2:16. Let's get it real quick.
I got another one.
Let's go.
1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
Okay, so we always pull this out where it say, for God so loved the world, and then it say, love not the world. The world that it's talking about is the world that's outside of the world that the Lord lives in, the age of society that does not follow, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, care about what it say. When the Lord's saying, love not the world, neither the things in the world, it'll tell you what world is talking about. Read verse 16.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father.
These are the things you got to get.
Of the world.
This is the things you got to get together. Once you decide to come into the truth, Satan can't do nothing with you. The Lord is going to put his name on you. Now, the only thing that can take you up out of the truth is these things that are in the world. The lust of the eyes, the things that you see you want, the things that you covet, right? The lust of the flesh, the things that you felt that you enjoy. Examples would be a drug, food, whores, men, if you're a sister. Those things that feel good, the lust of the flesh. And the biggest one and the most important one is the pride of life. Pride cometh before destruction. The Lord hateth and resisteth the proud. Your pride will take you right up out of here. I ain't got to listen to that nigga. I ain't got to do what they saying. I ain't got to show up here. I ain't got to do that. This is pride. But if you really want to serve the Lord, you'll have to deny yourself, fall in line under rank and order, take on the structure that the Lord laid out. I showed it to you. Captains of 50, captains of 1,000, captains of hundreds, and officers. These are men of renown. These are wise men that showed their due diligence under commanding General Yohanan, just like those men did up under Moses back in the days. Take on that, drop that damn pride, get in line, do what you're told, and we can build up a nation and get the life that the Lord wants to give us. Straight is the gate, narrow is the way, and them that find it inherit life. Everybody else, they will be destroyed. All right? Everybody understand what the point is? Anybody got any questions on topic? No questions? All right, with that, I'll turn the class over to Priest and Officer in the shop.
We are the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York.